There we go. What's going on, y'all? Everything clean? Yeah, everything's cleaned up. All right, let's get the TikTok going. There we are. Here we go. All right. All right, we're back. We are back to the schedule. No sound detector? That's bullshit. There is sound. There is sound. What's up, Sparsh? What's going on? You are the first. As always, back to the routine. What's going on? Hold on one second here. Let me get the other Bitcoin chart. There we are. What are we at right now? 61? Yeah. 61. Let's see if this plays out. I can hear you. Okay, you can hear me or you can hear me? Can or can't? Is it not coming through? It should be coming through. How about now? Yeah, my quadcast seems like it's going on. Yeah, I just want to make sure the audio is working. Ken, all good. Okay, cool. I think it was someone on YouTube. That means you got to do hood deep analysis for me after Bitcoin. Yeah, we're gonna know hood like the back of our hand. We're gonna know hood like the back of our hand. FX Nancy, no thank you. Yo, what's up with Neo? It got stuck. We can look at Neo too. Neo's a long-term play, so it's very different than swing trading. I'm taking a long-term position in Neo. Where do you think Subwave 5 will land? So yeah, so my next target for this wave right here, I think this is the one that you're talking about, this one right here. That's between 55 to 57K. 55 to 57 is my next target on that. I'm waiting to see how this plays out. The reason why is because there's two scenarios in that this could be the start of the fifth, or for me, it looks more like a B wave, but this could be something that looks like this. Hold on. Let me move this like that, and I'll show you what I mean. So this to me looks more like a B wave, and it's kind of going like this. Let me change that to yellow. Give me a second. Let me change that to yellow. Something like that. That's what I think is going to happen on Bitcoin. And we're going to get this B wave here and then a C wave up for this wave 4. And then once that wave 4 like completes, then we'll see this dump lower for the wave 5. So that's why I think Bitcoin's probably going to go to 65 to 67 next and then dump down to 55, 57. Would you not argue it will go to 50K? How do you measure it? Yeah, so the way that I measure it is twofold. So let me move this out of the way. And it all has to do with the fibs and using the Fibonacci tool based on Elliott Wave rules. So if this, say this is the top right here for the wave 4, so this wave 4 is right here. Say, for example, that's the top. Basically, what we're looking for here on this is an extension between the 1.236 to the 1.618. That's where the wave 5 typically goes to, which is sitting at 57 to 55K. I don't think it changes actually, but if we go to my target for wave 5, which is upwards of 67, if we get a bounce to 67, you know, that changes it a little bit. So the zone would be not 55 to 57, it would actually be 57 to basically like 53, 54, with an extension down to 50. So it is possible to get to 50. Only sub price action is going to tell us that, but a good range is between the 1 and the 2, which is 60 to 50, would be my range. Fartcoin Fib Nasty replacement looking goofy. What's up, Grayson? Hello, I am from Turkey. Gold, please. Yeah, we can look at gold. We're going to do hood next. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin still, I do think we're going to bounce up for Bitcoin. And if I look at it on a smaller time frame, it just looks corrective right now, which is leading me to believe that we're probably going to have a bounce. So this being the ABC A wave, and then this being the ABC B wave, and then we'll get an ABC C wave up here, which will put us towards 65 to 67. I think we come a little bit lower on this bounce. The reason behind it is we have this A wave down, B wave up, and then a small C wave here, and then we'll get a corrective 3-wave move up, which takes us to about 67, maybe 65K, and then we should see the drop. So that's what I'm waiting for right now. Why did you kill Bitcoin? I didn't kill Bitcoin. I did not kill. I was telling everyone for months. I said it since February. I said Bitcoin is still corrective. We are going to go down, and no one believed me. Well, some did. Not everyone believed me, but some did. What altcoins are you looking into? So I dollar cost average heavy in 2022 when everything went crazy low. I did buy a little bit of altcoins last week, but I like Ethereum, XLM, HBAR, Chainlink, XRP. Let's see what else. I like CeeLo. It's one of my sneak picks. WorldCoin. There's a lot. I focus mainly on the fundamental, these sound projects. I don't invest in meme coins or any of the hype stuff. Some say we'll go to 10K. Is that true? Based on the fib targets, I don't see 10K. I see 60 to 50 with an extension down to 40, but I don't see 10. What's your favorite breed of cat? I can't read your comments, Grayson. I don't like cats. I'm a dog guy. What are the chances you're wrong and it runs back to 80K? That was the same question I got the entire move from 60 to 82K. Everyone kept saying, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? Well, you know, the structure doesn't support it, so I don't believe that we're going to 80K. The reason behind that is just due to the structure. So I don't see 80K. There's a lot of supply in between, but here in 80K, you know, you'd have to clear this supply up here, and there's a bunch of different things that you'd have to clear first. But you can go back and watch all my videos if you don't believe me. Go back and watch my YouTube live streams. They're all saved and all recorded. And you can see why I was talking about, you know, why we should continue lower to 60 to 50K back in February. So in order to basically invalidate that, we would have to clear 72 first in order to even have a conversation. Tau looking nice thing. Is Tau... Yeah, Tau's down, what, to 200 right now? Tau's looking pretty good. ETH is in a very long-term double bottom pattern. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum is in big demand right now. So there's a lot of demand zones on Ethereum, which was my zone from back in February. If you guys were watching... wait, this is not the right chart. I think it's the Coinbase one. Yeah, so... If you guys were in the live streams back in February, my original target back in February was between 1,800 and like 1,400 for Ethereum, which we're in right now. We popped down to 1,500 on last week, and we're still in this demand zone here, which is this big green box. And the structure's very similar to Bitcoin. We still have some more downside to go, but we'll monitor that as price action comes out. Hey, what's up, Efren? Hope the wife is feeling good today. Can we do Soundhound? Yeah, we can do Soundhound, 100%. We can do that. But I mean, I was called a madman back in February. Everyone was shitting on me back in February, but all the people that were talking shit to me back in February are March. They're nowhere to be seen. I told them, I said, don't buy at 82K, wait. And what did they do? They FOMO bought, and they were talking shit on me, saying I missed the bottom, you're missing the boat, you're a bear market fear monger, all this bullshit. And lo and behold, we're at 60K now, and they're nowhere to be seen. So, do with that information what you will. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not, it just, again, I let the chart speak for me. And there was a lot of people that were talking shit. So, you talk shit, you got to eat it. So, anyways, so with Soundhound, what do we got? I mean, it still looks corrective. I mean, there is some demand here. Let me clear the chart and we can just start from scratch. The problem with this right now is everything looks choppy. So this looks like a 3-way move up. This is a 3-way move down. This is a 5-wave move here. So that is the start of something. This could be a wave 2. This could be a wave 3, but this is all corrective right here. So we have this big ABC pattern here, which, I mean, technically that could be a 4, but it doesn't appear like that would be a 4. And the wave 2 would be here, and then maybe the wave 4 here, and then we have this wave 1 to wave 3. So maybe we're forming, the only way you can form diagonal patterns like this with the wave 4 being lower than the wave 1, meaning this is the top of the wave 1 and the wave 4 has invalidated that, is in larger wave 1s, which is what we could potentially be in. So this being the 1, 2, 3, this extended 4, and then we get a 5th leg up. So that's a possible scenario. This being, let me label it out. This would be our wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should expect a 5 up. But I will say the structure doesn't necessarily look great, so it's hard to tell. This is a 5-wave move, which is great. I mean, this is a 5-wave move right here. Let's see on the daily if this is a 5-wave move. I mean, technically that's another 5-wave move. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I would go with that. That would be my high probable setup here for Soundhound, is basically this structure. So you get this wave 5 wherever this thing tops out at. It kind of looks like Microsoft. So if I go to Microsoft, it kind of looks like that. Let me see if I can get all this in. So Soundhound looks a little bit like Microsoft. You have this wave 4 that went lower than the wave 1, but you have this like broadening sort of like wedge pattern. And if we go back to Soundhound, it kind of looks similar, right? A little bit different, but similar. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then expecting a 5th wave up. And then if we go back to Microsoft here, it's kind of the same thing. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And Microsoft's in corrective territory. So expect more downside on Microsoft. Something like this is expected for Microsoft. Let me go back through some of these comments. Let's trade futures on cats. I was trading live live cattle futures for a little bit. That was kind of fun. What about the 4-year cycle ending in October? It's possible. I mean, it's definitely possible that we correct till October. I'm just going based off the chart. I don't do time-based stuff. So when everyone says, well, when's the move going to happen? That's not what I'm in the business of doing. I'm in the business of looking at the chart and looking at the technicals, and then using all technical analysis is probability. So you can never predict everything with 100% accuracy, but you can know where the move's going to go, rather, based on certain technical analysis styles. Elliott Wave being my preferred, and then I use supply and demand on top of that. But predicting when it's going to happen is like super hard. I mean, I don't know if there's any strategy out there that is able to do that. Again, it's all probability based stuff. It could happen in October. We could correct sooner. I don't have much longer based on the structure for the correction to finish. So we'll see what happens. Short cat futures, long dog futures. Fuck yeah. Stop private messaging me, telling me to send you Solana exchange for punches in my face. I swear you make the funniest comments. We are screwed. No, we're just in a corrective territory. It's not doing much tonight. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's still kind of chopping around. I mean, we had the CPI, or we had the inflation print this morning, which was higher than expected. And then we also have sort of the war narrative going on right now, which is giving the market a lot of uncertainty. Thoughts on SpaceX IPO? I'm avoiding it. I don't really buy into IPOs. I mean, you can go back and look at the history of every IPO, and typically they sell off like 50% as soon as those things come out. So while I want to be invested in SpaceX, I'll wait for the IPO, all the volatility, all the bullshit to subside, and then I'll wait until we get to a period of time where things kind of even out. But I would like to be invested in SpaceX, but I'm going to wait. I'm not going to buy it off the rip. I'll wait for like a 30 to 50% correction on it, and then I'll buy. What do we got? Hey, bro, I'm shorting Sol. What you think right now? I mean, we can go to Solana. The thing with Solana is it's in my target zone, so we are in a lot of demand right now. So that's acting as support. But the zone that I mentioned back in February for a potential target was, I want to say it was here, right? Yeah. So the zone that I was mentioning back in February was between $70 and $50. The reasoning behind that, actually, let me go to a different Solana chart just so I don't mess this one up. Let's go to, I don't know, Coinbase. Let's go to Coinbase's. So let me clear all this stuff out. The fib target I was using for this wave 5 was between the 1 and the 1.618. So that lives in between $70 to $50, which was my original target back in February. And we're currently in it right now. So it looks good from a long-term perspective. And then if we jump back to the other Solana chart, we're also in demand. So that's a good sign. You know, demand's going to act as support. We have this 5-wave move up on Solana already, and then we're kind of in demand. I do think that we probably, with Bitcoin, my expected path for Bitcoin, we're probably going to bounce towards 65 to 67K. If that happens, Solana will most likely bounce with that as well. So again, there's different ways, like you got to factor in when you're investing or trading different time frames when you're looking at things. But I do think that we do bounce for Solana. Oh yeah, we can look at Oklo. What's up, Dan? What's going on, man? How are you? Yeah, so Oklo is an interesting one. It is very complex, and there, I mean, you can see on this chart, there's a lot of supply up here, a lot of demand back here. We're kind of just playing ping pong between the two. But the structure that I have on it right now is this is a complex wave 4. And the reasoning behind that is, again, similar to Microsoft having this wedge pattern here. This is kind of what Oklo is doing. So we have this wave 1, 2, 3, complex 4, and then a fifth wave. And this also coincides with sort of a wave 5 top as well. So Microsoft is due for a correction based on the longer time frame. Now, if we go back to Oklo, this kind of looks similar to Microsoft in the sense that we're kind of forming this sort of wedge pattern, if you will. But we probably come down a little bit lower and we kind of form something like a Microsoft. So you have this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a pop-up 5. Now, the thing is with Oklo, let me remove some of the stuff. If we zoom in here with Oklo, there's a few different things to pay attention to. One is there's a monthly demand right here. So between $56 to $45 is a monthly level. It's already been tagged a couple times, so more orders are being filled up. But there's also, well, that's more so a retest of this. So I wouldn't necessarily consume that, but it's a retest of this nonetheless. So you have monthly, weekly here. Again, it's more of a retest of this zone, so we'll see if it holds. But from an Elliott Wave perspective, it almost appears as though we're in a 5-wave move down. Let me go to the daily. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be the A, the B, and then we're currently in the C. So it's just a complex correction from what I'm seeing on Oklo. This definitely looks like a 5-wave move. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be our A wave. Then we have a B wave bounce, so we can label this our A. This is our A, B, and then we're in the C. Now, the thing with the C is this is also a complex C, which, again, provides more complexity when you're looking at stuff like this. Not every chart is perfect and like simple corrections. But if we use the fib target here for this wave C, where does that put us at? Where did that fib go? I don't know where that fib went. So that's great. But I could see us correcting a little bit lower than this bottom target here. And then basically we would form like a massive wedge pattern, kind of like Microsoft. But it looks like we're in a wave 4. So I hope that answers your question. Where's Dan's comment? I think that answers your question, Dan. I'm not sure. Can you do Nubis? Yeah, we could look at Nubis. But it just looks like a complex corrective 4. That's what it looks like on here. And once this finishes, then you'll get the wave 5 up. So you have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 down, and then the 5. So that's what it looks like on Oklo. But it's a harder one for sure. I mean, this complex 4 has been pretty tough. Can you do NVIDIA? Yeah, we can do NVIDIA. If you had to choose Ethereum or Solana, I would just go 50-50. I like both. Yeah, let's do Nubis, and then we can do NVIDIA. Where's this? NBIS. When did I do this? I don't remember when I did this. I don't remember when I did this chart, but we're kind of topping for a wave 3. I don't remember when this chart we did this. I don't know if it was on stream. I'm not entirely sure, but we had a 5-wave move up, a corrective 2, and then we actually hit the 1.618 for the wave 3 like perfectly. So you can see on this chart, we hit the 1.618 perfectly and then rejected off of it. So we're just in a wave 4 right now. Let me clear the chart and then we can draw it out. So we have a 5-wave move up for a wave 1. And then we have this 2, the 3 here, waiting for the 4, and then we'll get the 5th. So essentially something like that. If we use the fib targets here to project out where a potential bottom would be for this wave 4. Let me go wave 2 and wave 4. And then let's see if we can find any demand zones here, which would coincide with our fib targets. There's nothing on the monthly, so let's drop down to the weekly. There is this weekly demand here. So between this level right here would be our weekly demand, which also coincides with, you put that here, the 618 retracement. So the next target for me on NB and Nubius would be around 150. 150 would be my next target on here, coinciding with a weekly demand and a 618 retracement, and that's a deep retracement for a wave 4. Technically, wave 4s do bottom at the 382, so we could actually be bottoming here, but more than likely, just given the broader context of the market and how I believe the market's going to continue to correct, both from an index perspective, I do think that this gets dragged down. And from like a structural standpoint right now, this just looks like a wave A. So let's see on the 4-hour. That's not as clean. Maybe the 1-hour. Let's see what we got on the 1-hour. That's not really as clean either. But it appears like we have a 3-wave move down for this. This could be the start of the wave A. So we have the 1, the 2, and then the 3-wave move down. This could be our A. Then we'll get a bounce B, and then we'll get a drop lower for a C. That's at least what I see on the chart. For me, 150 would be a good zone. The reason behind that is we have weekly demand here at 150 and a 618 retracement, so that would be my target around 150. Nick, do you have a class that you teach? I need to learn how you do this stuff. Yeah, so I have a VIP membership program that, I do coaching, training. I also give all my entries and exits. So like swing trades, futures trades, long-term stuff, like that's all included. I don't really promote it that much. Like it's more of a, hey, if you want to join, great. If not, like it doesn't really bother me, but I do it because there was a lot of interest in it. So right now, I think we're sitting at around 50 members, so I'm very excited about that. I launched that a couple months ago, and it seems like there's a lot of value in there. I'll let the VIP speak for it. I won't speak for it myself, but I do have a VIP membership program, which is part of the Discord, but it's like separate. I have like private channels just for the VIP stuff. And I do a lot of coaching, things like this, like learning Elliott Wave Theory, learning demand zones, supply zones, and then also anytime I take swing trades or futures trades, I share the setup like, okay, here's the wave count, here's the fib retrace, and here are some demand zones that we're looking to take a trade in. So I do provide that, yes. Could you take a look at SPY? Yeah, I actually did a video for the VIPs today on SPY, but yeah, we can look at SPY. Can we take a look at SPY? Yeah, so let's take a look at NVIDIA first, and then let's look at SPY. Let's see here, NVIDIA. So I've been saying it for a while now that NVIDIA was top. The reason behind it, again, just due to structure. So we have a wave 1 here, right there, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then we're in the wave 5. To me, it looks top. So we have a 5-wave move up, sharp wave 1, 2, an extended third wave, an ABC 4, and then this 5th. So we have a completed 5-wave move on the weekly. Now, if we use the fib target to see, all right, of this 5-wave move, how far down are we going to potentially correct? Typically for wave 2s, they come between the 0.5 and the 0.618. Do we correct that much? Possibly, we'll see. But we could also stop down at 150. If we look at demand on the monthly, there's a couple different demands in the monthly, so we'll see if those hold or not. There's this really good monthly here, actually. This monthly demand here. It's not a retest of anything else. That lives between 100 to 87 on NVIDIA. And then we also have this. Is this a retest of this? I mean, that's kind of more of a retest of that. But it's kind of, no, it's closed out. So we have this monthly demand down here as well. So we have monthly demand between 174 to 164, and then we have another monthly demand between 100 to 86. In my opinion, based on the wave count, I mean, it does appear that we are topped and we should expect downside correction. And it just has to do with the structure. So, take that with what you will. This is not me saying NVIDIA is a terrible company. I like NVIDIA. I just don't want to buy here. I would wait for a correction. So whenever this thing corrects, that's when I'll look to buy it. But at these prices, I'm not really interested in it. There's a lot of other things that are heavily discounted that I'd rather put my money in, just, again, based on the structure. So I would look at NVIDIA around 122. Ideally, if we could get down to 100 at that monthly demand, that's where I would look to add that to my portfolio. Looks like it's dumping. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely dumping for sure. I mean, the monthly, if we continue dumping on the monthly, we're actually going to create a monthly supply up here. Right here. And that would act as heavy resistance. Again, we got to wait for the next monthly candle in July to be able to determine that, but we could be creating some monthly supply up there. But I'm not really looking to add NVIDIA right here. There's other assets that I'm looking at. So that would be NVIDIA. For me, it's in corrective territory, similar to Microsoft, corrective territory. When those things come down, indexes come down. And with that being said, let's look at SPY. Similar. This is, let me move this into frame here. Similarly, this is what I'm expecting on SPY. A correction down between 600 to 500 is my zone for the S&P, or SPY rather. So 600 to 500 is my zone down here because, again, structure. It has nothing to do with my bear market fear mongering, but we have this one. Why can't I pick this brush? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 wave up. So we have a 5-wave move up. I'm expecting an ABC down towards this demand zone on the monthly. If we look at the daily, we actually have a 5-wave move down on, I think it's the 4-hour, which is, to me, the start of the correction. So we have this 5-wave move down in an impulsive manner, which leads me to believe that SPY is starting its A wave, or finishing its A wave rather. So we have this 5-wave move down, and what I'm expecting is some level of a bounce for a B wave and then a C wave lower. on the S&P. So for me, it looks corrective. But there is some demand and supply on the smaller time frames. Essentially, what I'm expecting looks like this. So let me go to the daily. Let me see if I can get all this in. So something like this. A wave down here, B wave bounce, C wave down to make up the wave A. And then we get an ABC up for a B wave bounce. This is exit liquidity. This would be like basically what you hear all the time, like exit liquidity, this is the dead cat bounce, all that good stuff. This would be the B wave where you would look to exit your position if you have not exited already on the top, and then a C wave down. So this is essentially what my expected next path is for the S&P, is we get this big A wave down, B wave bounce, and then C wave lower, which could potentially take us towards $600 to $500. That's where I would look at adding SPY to my portfolio. Please do VeChain again. Curious where we're at now. Yeah, we can do VeChain. QQQ similar. It's going to follow a similar path to this. What zones will be the C wave retracement numbers? Yeah, we can look at NASDAQ. I can see that happening. Yeah, I mean, the S&P just... Again, I've been saying it for a while now. I said it was topped, but a lot of people were like, no, it's not topped. But for me, again, like, just the way that things are going from a macroeconomic standpoint, I think there's a lot more corrective territory on the way. MSTR, I like MSTR. I added a little bit last week. So MSTR was on my radar for months. If you guys have been coming to the stream now since the beginning of the year, you guys know that MSTR was on my radar, and I've been waiting for MSTR to drop down to my zone between $100 to $70. That was where I was looking at adding MSTR, was around 100 to a potential extension down to $70, and we're currently in that right now. So to me, the correction's not done with MSTR, and I'm expecting, again, 100 to 70. That is my zone, really between the 1 and the 1.236. There's a demand zone down here at $70. That's why I'm expecting 70. But between 100 and... hold on. This zone right here is my buy zone for MSTR. Between 100 to 70, we could potentially extend down to 43. Which I'll just add more there. But that was my zone for months. If you guys have been here since January, that is when I was expecting MSCR to come to. And now, finally, after months of waiting, we're getting the correction, and it looks good. When a trend is available for everyone, then it no longer works. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Any tips for charting Elliott Wave and not wanting to throw my PC out the window? Have patience with it. Don't try to force wave counts. So I see a lot of people when it comes to Elliott Wave specifically, like they try to force their own bias on the chart. They say, I want price to go here, so I'm going to force the wave count. And they'll go down to lower and lower and lower and lower time frames to get that to work. Again, when you go down lower and lower and lower time frames, yeah, you're going to see subwaves, but you're going to be looking at it on a very, very small time frame. You kind of just have to take the price for what it is. You just, if you want the stock to go up and you're forcing the wave count, then you're going to be, looking at the wave count wrong. Just take a neutral approach. Just take a step back. All right, where does this chart want to go? And move on the higher time frame. You don't have to go down to the 5-minute. You don't have to go down to the 15-minute. Start on the monthly, then move down to the weekly, then move down to the daily. Like, start on the higher time frames first. It's a lot easier to see the movements the higher time frames you go. Do you think we get a dead cat bounce from here? With MSTR, you mean? Or to me, MSTR is in corrective territory. So when you say dead cat bounce, what do you mean? Are you like, is there a target you're expecting it to bounce to? Yeah, we can do Robinhood next. Are Elliott Wave indicators good on TradingView, or is it better to do? I do it all myself. I don't use AI, so I'm like I wouldn't call myself an anti-AI. I just don't like AI. I think it's stupid. Like, I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather use my own brain than do AI bullshit. So To me, that's just my point of view. I don't use AI. I like good old fashioned brain power. I'm just not really a fan. I think that there are cool things you can do with AI, but relying on it too much, I think, is just detrimental long term. So I'm just not really a big AI guy. That's just where I stand on that. You'll be left behind. You could say that, but again, left behind in terms of what? I mean, what does AI do for us? Okay, it makes our life faster. Okay, for what reason? Like there's nothing you really need for it. You know what I mean? Like it makes things more efficient. Okay, I can do Excel faster. All right, I could see the use of AI there. I can use Excel a little bit faster. But for the greater good of what? Like, what does it really do? Like, yeah, companies are adopting it, but to what point, right? Like, I don't know. I have interesting opinions of AI. I think it's more spiritual than it is talked about right now. But it's just, it's the same thing. I watch all these clips from back in the day when you have all these like increase of things. It's just more things to give people subscriptions for. That's all it is. It's just more subscriptions, more stuff, more just crap. It's like, I don't need all this stuff, man. I need food, I need a bed, and a home. That's it. I don't, it's just a lot of corporate greed is what it is. I mean, you have the funniest thing today. I saw a tweet today. You have Cracker Barrel, which is a restaurant. And don't get me wrong, I don't disrespect Cracker Barrel. I fuck with Cracker Barrel, and my wife and I will go every now and then. Her grandmother loves it, so we go. But they announced that they're going to use AI in Cracker Barrel to improve efficiencies, and their stock pumped 40%. Like that made what? You just put AI in the fucking company name and you pump 30%? So stupid. It's just like Allbirds, a shoe company. We're going to put AI in, and then next thing you know, the thing rallies 200%. It makes no sense. It makes no freaking sense. All right. Let me get off my high horse here. MSCR 150. I don't know if I see 150. The reason why is because we're in the dead cat bounce was this. This was the dead cat bounce. We kind of already had that. So this move right here was the bounce that you could consider the dead cat bounce. So we pumped from 100 to almost 200. So about 100% move. That was the bounce. Now, from a structural standpoint, the lower targets are more highly probable because of the way that price action is unfolding, and also the way that Bitcoin's price action is unfolding. If you look at Bitcoin's price action, is this the full one? No, let me get the full one. If you look at Bitcoin's price action unfolding, this is essentially the path that I have for Bitcoin. So that'll also bring MSTR down. And the dead cat bounce on Bitcoin was 60 to 82K, which was that dead cat bounce. Now, the next anticipated path for Bitcoin is we have this wave 4 that we're still in. So the sub wave 4. We have a drop lower to complete the 3, bounce up for a 4, and then one corrective move down for a 5. So for me, I think that already happened. What the fuck they doing with changing up the inside? Yeah, I mean, that logo was so stupid. Just keep the original logo, man. It's so dumb. Oh, yeah, let's do AI. Oh, man. What a time to be alive, man. The casino. Yeah, everything's just greed, leverage, and casino, man. We need to go back to the simpler times, man. I'm a big fan of the simpler times. VeChain. Let's do VeChain. But MSTR, I still have 80 to or 100 to 70 bucks. 100 to 70 bucks. I'm very contrary. If you guys haven't been to the lives before, I'm a very contrary to popular belief. Like, I go against the grain for the most part when it comes to like the crypto investing stuff. Like, I felt as though I was alone, not alone, but I felt like I was alone in the sense that I was predicting for lower targets on crypto and stocks, and everyone flipped bullish, and I was like contrary to popular belief at the time. And then now everyone's flipping bearish. I've just stayed neutral again. I don't pick sides. I just do what the chart tells me. But when it comes to like just like the world in general, I'm very contrary, very sort of against the grain, if you will. And that's why I don't really like AI. Like, yeah, I've used it, like, cool, make some photos and stuff. And all right, yeah, it helps me, do some more efficiency. But in the corporate side, like, everything is AI. You don't even get human responses anymore from emails. People just put in the email into Gemini and then send you an email, or all LinkedIn now is just AI slop. Everyone just puts into AI, make this cool post for me, and then they make a post on LinkedIn. It's like, we know it's AI. Like, we know you're not saying that shit. So I think it's just like people gotta be people, man. We gotta be humans. We gotta start talking like humans, having a human brain, stop relying on AI so much to write our emails. We're gonna connect with people better. Again, it's all in the sense of efficiency and making people work more efficiently for the companies. That's just how I view it, as opposed to actually making improvements on humanity. I can't stand AI. Yeah, I mean, it's just everything in the corporate world is just AI. That's all they talk about is AI this, AI that. Let's send emails with AI. Let's do LinkedIn messages with AI. They got those stupid dashes on it, which it's AI. It's like, dude, clean up your fucking shit. All right, let's look at VeChain. Let's look at VeChain. You guys are gonna get me off on a tangent. I don't want to do that. I still got my 63.1k short on Bitcoin with 5x leverage. You should be in profit now, no? You forgot VeChain? I could never forget VeChain, man. We're going to cover VeChain now. I just want to go through some of these comments. Do you think all-time high for Bitcoin, Ethereum in 2026? No, I have more correction in 2026. I see 2027 through 2030 as sort of the run-up, alt season, all that good stuff. Just came in. I bought more VeChain last week, actually. I heard other analysts say Cardano has lost its long-term structure for higher target. You think so? Yeah, we can look at Cardano. Should I go with Bitcoin ETFs instead of Bitcoin? It's just easier to sell where I live. So it depends. I mean, if you want to own Bitcoin outright, buy Bitcoin. If you want to own the ETF, it kind of does the same thing. So take your pick. I personally like owning my own Bitcoin, but that's just me. All right, so VeChain longer term structure, no changes to it. I did mention to expect more downside with VeChain just because Bitcoin's structure was still corrective. And I said I'm only allocating 1% of my overall portfolio to VeChain because it is, again, a lower market cap token. It's highly volatile. You could get these big swings up and big swings down. I did add to VeChain last week. I bought a little bit more on the dip. But the structure is still intact. So as long as this low down here, if I can get it, as long as that low down there doesn't get taken out, this structure is still valid. That low is 0.0015. So as long as we stay above 0.0015, this is the next anticipated path for VeChain. And we have the 5-wave move up. We're currently in the ABC wave 2, so we've had this so far. We've had the A wave down, the B wave up, and then the C wave drop. That is still the wave 2, and then we'll get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move to the upside in accordance with the structure, as long as 0.0015 holds. If it doesn't, that doesn't necessarily mean that VeChain's dead and it's not going to go anywhere. It just means that the structure starts brand new. And what we'd be waiting for is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of those lows. It just means that that current wave count structure with targets on the fibs is invalidated. As long as 0.0015 holds, this is the next path for VeChain. And my next target on VeChain is around 43 to 70 cents. 43 to 70 cents between the 1.618 and the 2.618. What do we got? Cardano, yeah, we can look at Cardano. Arby's in my town started that AI crap, and from the reviews, I don't think they will keep it. I did go to a Wendy's the other day, or what was it? I went to Wendy's, I can't remember when. This had to be like a month ago or something, but they have those AI ordering systems where you pull up, the AI takes your order. I mean, it was kind of efficient. It was a little slow because you had to wait for it to compute everything, but I mean, it worked fine. But I could see how that could be running into issues, especially with people's different dialects and language barriers. It could cause some issues. Liquidation is 75k, so I'm waiting to just swing if that's a good plan. Yeah, I mean, my next target on Bitcoin's 65 to 68k, which I don't think you will get liquidated there. But again, it just depends on you know, how far we pump up for the bounce. We could also be in the drop right now, but as long as you're above that, I think you should be fine. Did you get involved with SpaceX? I did not. No, I'm waiting for SpaceX. I don't feel like buying it right now. There's going to be so much volatility around it, and we're going to see a huge sell-off. It'll probably crash 30 to 50%, and then from there I'll buy. EOS is similar to VeChain. We're just waiting for the 5-wave move up. And again, I took a long-term target with this. I did say that you should anticipate more downside because they are highly volatile tokens. Hi, Nick. Are you able to do gold? Yeah, I mean, we can. Is SPY and ABC? Yeah, it's in the A wave of the ABC, yes. This is VeChain, not gold. But yes, I have SPY in the A wave right now, and then waiting for what's the word? Waiting for the A wave to complete. Sorry. What do we got on Cardano? Yeah, I mean, where's the good chart of Cardano? Is it the Coinbase one? No. Is it Bitstamp maybe? No. Binance? Actually, the Binance one looks pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, Cardano's structure to me still looks fine. I mean, from a long-term standpoint, it still looks fine. We have this wave 1 up, and then we're in this ABC wave 2. So we've had the 1, we're in the 2, and then we should expect a 5-wave move up for the wave 3. So there's really no changes with Cardano. Again, it's getting pummeled really because of Bitcoin, but that's what I expected with altcoins. I did say if Bitcoin corrects the way that I think it's going to correct, I mean, altcoins are going to get just shredded, and that's what they're doing. So I said I did mention save cash on the sideline for when Bitcoin corrects, because when it does, altcoins are going to correct. I mean, let's look at some of the altcoins on CoinMarketCap right now. On CoinMarketCap, right, like Bitcoin's down, what, 0.82% in the past 24 hours. I mean, you have XLM down 4%, XRP down 4%, Chainlink down almost 4%, Near Protocol down 9%. Like, you can see what happens when Bitcoin corrects. Altcoins get just absolutely cooked. So that's what I was mentioning. Just have cash on the sideline. Don't fully buy all at once. Dollar cost average in. Take advantage of major dips. Anytime it dips, 10%, 15%, buy a little bit more. But I generally time my altcoin purchases when Bitcoin corrects. So I always look at what Bitcoin's doing, and then if Bitcoin corrects 2%, I'll buy altcoins. What was the next one? Gold? Yeah, we can look at gold. XAU OST. I've been saying now for a while that gold was topped. After a huge parabolic move that gold had, I mean, it's going to take a while to correct, but we do appear like we are we're still in the corrective territory for gold. We kind of shot through this weekly demand. The next monthly demand's down here at 3,300 on gold, so we might go down to 3,300. Now, as far as the structure goes, let's see, A, B, C, A wave, B wave. How much do we retrace of this A wave from there? Wave 2. So we retrace to the 0.5. That makes sense. So it looks like we're in the wave C. So that's good. I mean, good from a perspective if you want to buy gold, but we're in the A, B, C range right now. So we're in the wave C. That to me is what we look like. We have this 3-wave move down for an a wave B bounce, and then we're currently in the wave C. So expecting further downside on gold. Now, as far as the structure goes, let's see what we got. It just looks complex. I mean, we're definitely in a C. Now, the question is, of the C, what are we in? This looks like an A wave, B wave, 1, 2, 3. It almost appears like this. We have this A wave here, B wave here, and then we're in the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 wave down for a wave C. So gold to me still has more downside. Now the question is, after this structure completes, is this a higher time frame structure of a wave A? The only thing that's going to be able to determine that is how price action reacts off of the low. But this could be basically our A wave, B wave, C wave of a larger wave A. Then we get a B wave bounce and then a C wave lower. So that's also a possibility for gold. And then we would get this B wave bounce up here and then a C wave lower, which could take us towards that 3,300 mark, which is monthly demand. So just pay attention to that. As price action unfolds, we'll be able to determine what that might look like. But if we use the current price action here, I mean, technically speaking, this wave C is based on the fib target is going to target between 3,400 to 3,000, which actually is right at the monthly demand. So that could be a really good point to add gold. This is the wave A, the wave B, and then the wave C. Wave C's typically extend the length of wave A, which would put us at 3,400. If we extend 1.236 times longer than wave A, that would put us at 3,000. Using that in tandem with demand zones, my next target on gold will be 3,300. The reasoning behind that is monthly demand right here on top of the C wave coming in between the 1 and the 1.236 of wave A. So 3,300 would be my next target on gold. Do you do corrective moves like triangles, zigzags, and flats? Yeah, 100%. But it's more so determinant on how price action is. Like, you can't really force zigzags, right? You kind of just have to go based off what the price action's showing. And if you look at the daily, like, the price action's not really suggesting a zigzag. The reason behind that is in order for you to have a zigzag correction, you would have needed this wave A to be a 5-wave move, which we didn't get that. We got a 3-wave move, right? We had this A, B, C for a wave A. So we can't even consider that a zigzag. Now, if we got structure that was like this, then we could have. But since it was a 3-wave move, we won't consider it. This could be a flat structure with this A here, the B here, and then we have a 5-wave move down for the wave C. That could be possible, but my next target on gold will be around 3,300 on gold. But what if it starts appreciating and just keeps appreciating? I mean, that's a what-if question. I don't do what-ifs. I do probabilities, and probabilistically speaking, due to technical analysis, both from a supply and demand side and from a Elliott Wave standpoint, the higher probability is lower. So again, I don't do opinions. I do what the chart tells me. If the chart tells me it's going down, it's going down. If the chart tells me it's going up, it's going up. I don't really ask, well, what if this happens? Because what if, again, the market really doesn't give a shit about your opinions. It doesn't care at all. If you bought at 4,600, do you think the market's going to just miraculously rise back up to your entry point because you bought there? No, the market doesn't give a shit. And institutions control it. So we can only do our best to buy at good entries using high probability setups. Again, not every setup is pinpoint 100% accurate, but in the market, it's all probabilities, all patterns, and using that to our advantage, we can have an edge in the market, which gives us an opportunity to make money. Velvet and Beat been ripping for days, but Beat looks like it may dump now. What is Beat? Is that meme? Is that crypto coin that's pumped up to like 2 billion market cap? That's probably going to do a rave. It's probably going to dump. Render? Yeah, what's up, Topper? What's going on, man? Yeah, we can do render. I think it's this, right? Render? Let's see what we got on render. I mean, render is still kind of like, what was it, Cardano and VeChain, everything. Like, we do have a 5-wave move. So as long as like 40 cents holds, this structure to me still looks intact. This is kind of what we have here. So we have this, make sure everything's in. Make sure all this is in here. So we have this ABC A wave right there. So we have this, let me just use this instead. So we have this A wave here, B wave here, and we're currently in the C. So we're in the C, which is good. The risk is significantly reduced because we're in the C wave. And let's see. on this target wise. And you can see here, what? Hold on. Hold on. I think, let me make sure this tool's doing this correctly here. 94, yeah. So if the wave C is the same length as wave A, we should expect price to come down to around 94 cents, which that could be a potential target for us on render. It's at $1.50, so we could see some lower target. And again, with Bitcoin continuing to correct lower, I do have render coming down a little bit more. This one actually kind of looks like a zigzag. So forever asked that question about a zigzag. It also kind of looks like that. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. B wave here, and then this 1, 2, 3, this ABC4, and then a 5. So we should expect one more leg lower for render before we appreciate up, in my opinion. You have any target for Aptos and Sui? I play more altcoins off of. I do more targets for altcoins based on Bitcoin. So whenever Bitcoin corrects, altcoins get hammered. So then I just take a position. What about events like Clarity? Well, I mean, people were saying that to me when we were pumping from 60 to 82K, and everyone was saying, well, Clarity Act, you're wrong. Bitcoin's going to pump up as soon as this thing's signed in. Like, I don't factor in news because it alters your decision making. The price typically tells you what's going to happen. We saw it with CPI this morning. Price anticipated a hot CPI, and then what happened this morning? We bounced, and then obviously we corrected after due to the war. Stuff intensifying, but news is more of an after effect, so I don't really factor that in. I mean, I think Clarity Act will be good for crypto long term, potentially. I haven't read the Clarity Act, so I don't really know what it does, but I had a lot of people say that, like, you're going to be wrong, Bitcoin new all-time highs, Clarity Act. News is just an after effect. XRP still $1 to 80 cents was my target, so between 80 cents and $1 was my target. Are you aware you have like fake profiles? Yes, I try to report them, but TikTok doesn't do anything about it. I don't know why. I try to report all of them. If you guys can spam report them if you want, just don't report me because like this is my actual account. But I do have a TikTok support rep, so maybe I can reach out to them and get them reported. But yeah, I've tried Instagram. There's a shit ton of them. I report some of them and they get banned, but I'm trying to get the blue check mark on TikTok to like differentiate myself to show like, hey, this is my actual account. But yes, there's a lot of scam accounts out there. I don't reach out to people. I will never DM you. I'll never add you as a friend because all the scammers do that. I don't want to get anyone, freaked out by that stuff. If they DM you and ask you for money or crypto, that's not me. How is there a fake page of yours with 50K followers? I have no clue. They probably bought followers or like it's an old account that's been around for years and they just said, fuck it, let me convert it to a fake Nick account and delete all my old videos. I have no idea. But yes, be aware of that. Don't get scammed by those people. Are the fib retracements the only way to determine stop loss and TP? No, so I use a combination of things. I don't just use Elliott Wave Theory. So let's use Bitcoin for an example. I also use supply and demand zones as well. And for the people that are in the Discord, I mentioned this, I think last week, or no, when was this? What's today's date? Today's the what? The 10th. So yeah, like, was this Friday or Saturday? So about 4 days ago ish, I said, hey, there's a supply zone here. Expect Bitcoin to basically get rejected here, and that was also the wave A bounce. So I was expecting a wave A. Let me change the color of this from red so it's a little bit easier to see. I was expecting a bounce off these lows for a wave A into this supply zone that was created, and we dumped from supply, came back down into this demand, and we're kind of hovering. We'll see if this demand breaks through or we pop off. But yes, I was expecting a bounce into this supply here. So I use both supply, demand in tandem with Elliott Wave Theory. because it provides good structure. Like Elliott Wave Theory gives me the ability to determine, are we in an impulsive manner or corrective manner? And then I use supply and demand zones to fine tune entry points. And then I use fibs on top of that. Curious how you pronounce your last name. Cassesi. That's how I pronounce my last name. Cassesi. Technically, we went to Italy and they pronounce it Cassesi, or how do they say it? Hold on, let me get my Italian. I can't do an Italian accent very good. Hold on. But in Italy, when we went to Italy last year. We went to Italy and Greece. Phenomenal trip. If you haven't been to Italy, highly recommend. Phenomenal place. But Cassesi is how you say it. And then in Italy, when we were asking all the people, they're like, Cassesi is how they pronounce it in Italy. Yeah, we can check out Injective. Bottom for Bitcoin, 786 retracement, 38K. Yeah, 38K is possible. There is a demand zone at 43K, so we'd have to clear through that on Bitcoin on the monthly. So on the monthly zone, there's this massive demand zone here at 42,500. So we'd have to clear that zone first. But that's where sort of my targets are coming into play. So between 60 to 50K and then an extension down to 42 at this monthly demand. There's also a weekly demand at 50K. So we'll see if we bounce from there as well. Ethereum's in demand right now. Sorry I missed it, Nick. What did you say about render? Still in corrective territory. Maybe come down to about 94 to 95 cents. Thoughts on Bitcoin RSI? I don't use RSI. I think RSI is more of a... I mean, you can use it with Elliott Wave Theory. I just don't really use it. I use more supply and demand in Elliott Wave. Iran completely closed Hormuz. I'm surprised we haven't crashed yet. Well, again, there's this just ping pong back and forth has been insane. It's closed, it's not closed, ceasefire, not ceasefire. We're going to attack, but we're not going to attack. This is a defensive attack, but we're actually going to attack. Too many what ifs, man. Again, the charts kind of tell the story. And we're actually creating a monthly supply on Bitcoin right now. So not that that's bad, but it's going to be a huge resistance when we get up to this level. So we're actually creating this massive... Let me go to a different chart so you can see what I mean. Let me just get a fresh one. So we're actually creating a monthly supply right now. Between 73K to 83K, which is going to act as heavy resistance, given the way that the structure is right now. We have massive supply here, and then we also have supply here as well. It doesn't mean that we can't break through it. It just means that there's a supply zone there. What's your targets for buying? Basically between 1,800 to 1,400 was my target on Ethereum. I bought a little bit of BMNR and SBET last week on the drop. I do see a little bit lower. We potentially could see 1,500 to 1,300 on Ethereum. I mean, VeChain, I'm not really trying to time the bottom. Every major Bitcoin dip, I just add VeChain. So I'm not really, again, with altcoins, it's really hard to time their bottoms because they're so volatile. I use Bitcoin as my gauge for altcoins. Whenever Bitcoin corrects, the way that I think it's going to correct. Like last week, when we were in the Wave 3 last week, I added to SBET, BMNR, MSTR, and some altcoins. And then when Bitcoin corrects again, after we get the bounce towards 65K, when Bitcoin corrects down to 55 to 57K, I'm going to add altcoins on that dip. I don't. Red makes me mad. Well, unfortunately, in the markets, again, I try to tell people all the time, you got to remove your emotions from the markets because your emotions will lead to emotional-based decisions, which will lead you to just poor decision-making. So try to not think of red or green as good or bad. Just think of it as a color. There's no significance to it. Just think of, okay, what is the chart tell? Because you can trade both sides. You can go short, you can go long. So you can trade both sides. Just look at the chart, see what it tells you to do. What is the chart telling you to do? Use a technical analysis style. I use Elliott Wave Theory and supply and demand. And then when it gets to your zone, take a trade in the upside or the downside. It just, the market doesn't have to have emotions. We just put our emotions into the market. And that's why the market behaves the way that it behaves. Hold on, I gotta do this TikTok puzzle thing. What's your thoughts on Oracle? You gonna add soon? Oracle's in a zone. I think we had a huge sell-off in aftermarket right now, so kind of being patient with that. We are in weekly demand. We also are in sort of this daily, weekly demand zone here on Oracle. I don't think that's a monthly zone here. We did drop bad. I think it was because of earnings today, I want to say, right? Wasn't earnings today? There was an earnings beat, but obviously prices, moving the way that it's moving. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, to me, it looks like we're in a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It almost appears as though we're in. I mean, we're definitely in corrective territory right here after a 5-wave move up. Now, the only question is, does this demand zone hold? It is a weekly zone, so we'll see how we open tomorrow. But my plan was to take call options on Oracle, but I'm going to be patient because of the way that earnings is right now. You typically have huge sell-offs with earnings. So I'll just be patient, wait for, some green candle closes outside of the zone, and I'll take a call option for it. But that is my plan. I mean, the structure itself, let me go to extended. Yeah, I mean, we're just ripping down on earnings. So that's interesting. But the structure itself, I mean, we have this A wave, B wave, C wave, then a B wave, and then we have this A wave down, B wave here, and then this ABC down. So it could be that the price is done correcting. This is the A wave, the B wave, and then we're in the C wave, sort of blow off top, sell off, if you will. But I'll see how price opens tomorrow. In an impulsive move, are there any concrete relationships between wave 1, 3, and 5? Yeah, so that's where the fibs come into play. So with wave 3, it's usually 1.618 times longer than wave 1, and then wave 5 is usually 1.618 times longer than wave 4. So there's these like relationships that you can do. So we will hit 50K, then it's up only. No, so it's more so when the structure completes. So until the structure is complete, I have more downside, unfortunately, on Bitcoin. But when it's complete, then yeah, upside is my next target. Will you trade GME for calls? I don't really trade GME, to be honest. But that's just me. I trade more of the majors as opposed to some of the smaller stuff. First time I meet you and wanting to learn Elliott Wave, is this a sign? I like Elliott Wave. I mean, me personally, I like it. It's just, again, my preferred technical analysis style. It's not for everyone, but it served me well. And then adding in this supply and demand stuff has just been, an addition to the strategy as a whole. So it served me pretty well, which I like. But again, it's not for everyone. So take that with what you will. Let me see here. I just want to see where this fib target comes out to on... Oh, I didn't even draw it. Hold on. Let me see what this fib target comes out to. Yeah, I mean, it also aligns with a 0.5 fib retrace. So of this move, a 0.5 to 0.618 fib retrace, which also lives in this weekly demand. I mean, it's literally the weekly demand is between the 0.5 and the 0.618. So that's why I'm taking this as a potential option for a call here on basically this entire move, correcting 0.5 to 0.618 inside of weekly demand, expecting us to pop out. So that's the reasoning behind it, but obviously we've had a pretty explosive earnings sell-off. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Oklo, yeah, we can do Oklo again. Circle. I mean, I'm still in Circle. Again with Circle, right? Like with the IPO when it sold off heavy. That's kind of what I'm expecting with what is it called? That's kind of what I'm expecting with SpaceX. So, expecting some level of huge sell-off. Now, I mean, we could, again, this structure looks like a 3-wave move. So we have this A wave, B wave, C wave. We do have a 3-wave move up, which would lead us to a 3-wave move down. We could potentially hit this demand here. which is a weekly demand at 63, which to me, that'd be a good opportunity to go long or buy long-term shares of Circle. So 63 would be my next target on Circle at this weekly demand down here. And it's a good level. Actually, this whole thing is this drop 3 basing candles, then rip out. But 63 would be my next target on Circle. Has Elliott Wave ever been wrong for you? Yeah, 100%. No strategy's perfect. But yeah, I mean, Elliott Wave can have, that's why, again, it's all about probabilities and risk management than it is about being crystal clear and perfect 100% of the time. With any strategy, nothing's perfect, right? But yeah, there's times when Elliott Wave invalidates rules, for sure. Do you ever trade NFP or it's strictly Elliott Wave analysis? What is NFP? I'm not sure what that is. Meta is in a demand zone. Will you add some calls? I'm thinking of getting calls for Tesla and Meta. I don't think Meta's in demand. If I'm mistaken, I don't think it's in demand. Yeah, there's no demand zone that it's in right now, unless maybe the daily. I mean, it's a shaky daily. I mean, it's kind of a daily, but there's no weekly on top of that. To me, we're not really in demand right now on Meta. I don't think there's kind of this monthly here, which we've already tagged a bunch, but there is this monthly level here that, I mean, it's a huge demand zone, but nonetheless, it is a monthly. But it's kind of more of a retest of this, but yeah, it's more of a retest of this. We did close outside of it. So, I mean, we do have a monthly demand there. What's the best way to learn Elliott Wave? I like the book, Elliott Wave Made Simple by Steve Sinclair. It's $10 on Amazon. That's personally what I like to use. Hi, I am a student and just started investing. Please advise which stock is good to invest in now. I mean, if you're newer to investing, I would definitely say stick to the majors. That's what I would do. I would stick to the majors if I was looking at investing for the first time, and just be patient with it. Again, a lot of people, when it comes to investing, they try to pitch you this like get rich quick scheme. It's not that. It's more about risk management, protecting capital. Don't treat investing like gambling. If you want to gamble, go to the casino. Too many people treat investing like gambling and they lose. So I would say just have patience with it. Don't buy into all the bullshit that's out there. Have a sound mind and you'll be fine. Now, Oklo is still in its wave 4. Nothing's really changed with Oklo. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're waiting for the 5. It does appear like we're still in the wave 4. It doesn't appear like we have any. I mean, this looks like an A wave, B wave, C wave, then a B, and then we might get a C lower. That's what it seems. Let me see on the fib retrace. I mean, this would be more the B wave here, actually. So it looks like we're in the C wave of Oklo right now. We have this sort of corrective wave A, this wave B, and then we're currently in the C. Now the question is, let's see. I mean, this whole move looks corrective up, and this whole move down is definitely corrective. So where did this correct to? I mean, this corrected right to the 0.5. I mean, this just is one big complex correction, in my opinion, on Oklo. We have this A wave down, B wave up, and then this A, B, C kind of developing. And if we continue lower, there's no demand. Maybe on the monthly. We're in a monthly demand as well, so that's still acting as support. But let's see if there's any other weeklies. I mean, the other weeklies down here at like $28. I mean, yeah, Oklo is just a complex correction right now. I mean, we're kind of in these demand levels. There is a demand, this demand down here. We're still in the monthly, but there could be further correction on Oklo for sure. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. What book did you read for trading psychology? For trading psychology and mastering your mind, like emotional discipline, the Bible. That's what I read. And if you want emotional discipline and a sound mind, read the Bible. Cool. I get. Yeah, I mean, Oklo's. It's either a 1-2-1-2 or a 1-2-3-4-5. That's kind of where we're in, and it could be a 1-2-1-2. It also could be a 1-2-3-4-5. It looks similar to Microsoft. So Microsoft had a 1-2-3-4-5 sort of expanding flat or expanding diagonal or whatever you want to call the structure, and we're in its corrective territory now. But Oklo looks very similar to that. For Bitcoin, will you only dollar cost averaging once it goes below 50 or make one big purchase or both? I dollar cost average to take advantage of dips, but also leave cash on the sideline to deploy if it goes lower. Does the fifth wave always have to have a 5-wave move of its own? Yeah, so in impulsive waves, they do have to have 5 subwaves, yes. No, just the small part, recent part only. Oh, on Oklo, the recent part, you mean? Let me see. Nope. Hold on. Nope. Damn it, this fucking thing. All right, let me see what Oklo. I mean, on the 4-hour, maybe the daily. I mean, the only problem with it right now is it just looks correct. Like, it just looks correct. I mean, it's kind of impulsive. It's not very clean, if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe this is a 5-wave move. Maybe. It could be, but it's very choppy. It's not very clean. But it is kind of impulsive. I mean, the price did move rapidly, but you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then you have this A, B, C, A wave, B wave, and then C wave down. So on a smaller time frame, you know, you're kind of in this wave 2, and so far of this wave 2, you've corrected down almost to the 786 now. So, I mean, it's possible that this is a wave 1, so this could be the 1. This is the 2, and we should expect a wave 3 next. Something that also helps is you are in demand zones here. So you have this weekly demand here. You have this previous weekly demand there. And then you're also in this monthly demand as well. So it does help your case that this is acting as support. However, there's monthly supply being built right here. So this whole zone is acting as a monthly supply right there, which is going to act as resistance. I mean, I like Oklo from a long-term perspective, but when I'm investing, I try to find cleaner charts. And for me, Oklo is just really confusing, so I'm kind of avoiding it. Doesn't mean I'm right. No, I mean, it could rip, but the structure is just very confusing. So I tend to avoid stuff like that. I'll destroy the supply. Yeah, I mean, it could rip through that supply, for sure. But it's also a supply, so we have to mention that for sure. Is it smart to target the retracement to one lesser degree after the 5th wave? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's do one more chart, and then I'm going to log off and go hang out with, because my brother's in town, so I'm going to hang out with him. Thoughts on Smeechy? You look at Smeech, or however you pronounce super microcomputer. Let's see what we got here. We're going to end with Smeechy, and then we'll be live tomorrow. So what do we got? I mean, this does, or this almost looks like a wave 4. I mean, it's definitely corrective. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely corrective. And you have this big wave up and then the corrective territory. As far as a fib retrace of this, we're kind of showing support at the 786 right now. If we look at the weekly time frame, what do we got? Well, I mean, it's another complex correction. Complex corrections are always a pain in the ass, but maybe the monthly is easier to read. Sometimes that's why you got to go to the higher time frames. It's a little bit easier to read. So to me, we have this as our wave A. This is our wave B. And then we could expect a wave C lower. Now, if we go to the weekly, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, this looks like our wave A wave, B wave, C wave for a B. And then we have this A, B, C, A wave, B wave bounce, and a C wave. We could see lower. Honestly, we could see lower. Let's see what the potential fibs look like on here. I mean, sometimes the fibs, man. Hold on. Oh, no, a second. All right. I mean, even well, is this move a 5-wave move? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, maybe. I mean, that doesn't overlap, so this could potentially be a 5-wave move up. That could be a 5-wave move up, and we're in the wave 2 right now. So this could be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're in the wave 2. That could be the case, but let's look for some demand zones. Maybe there's some demand zones that can provide some context here. Nothing on the monthly. Weekly? Did we tap that today? No. We have this weekly demand here. So this could be a next target for a potential bounce between $29 to $25. We have a weekly demand here on Super Microcomputer, which, I mean, and then we have supply up here. So you have this supply up here. So it's, I mean, you just have a huge dropout here, and then you have demand right here. So we may bounce off demand back up into supply. This is going to act as resistance. This is going to act as support for the time being. This could be, yeah, I mean, this could be the further correction. So we have the A wave here, the B wave here, and then the A, B, C. So we could see lower. Have a good night, Nick. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the analysis. Yeah, absolutely. What can I know? What analysis? I use Elliott Wave and supply and demand. But yeah, I mean, we could see lower on Super Microcomputer, especially if what I think is going to happen on the S&P does what it does, you know, and does its correction. It will most likely bring a lot of stocks down. So we have an A wave, a B wave, and then an A, B, and then a C wave. So I could expect lower on here. There is this demand down here, which we haven't touched yet, right around like $13. That could be a potential target for Super Microcomputer. That is a potential option here. And where's that fib? I mean, if this wave A is the same as C, it would put us at $8. But yeah, I would expect potential more downside on Super Microcomputer. What's the next price target? I mean, we might see a bounce at 25. We might see a bounce at 25. This is a complex correction, so it's really hard, like, to be able to determine where this thing's going to end. It's just a super complex correction. It looks like an ABC wave is developing, so I would wait for the correction to be done. But you could dollar cost average in, you know, post $19. And from a fib perspective, you know, of that entire move, we're already at the 786, which is at $26. You know, that's a deep value discount from all-time highs, and anything below 26 is just good buying opportunities, in my opinion. But timing perfect bottoms is really hard. That's why dollar cost average. But that's going to be the last chart of the day, guys. I will be back tomorrow. For those that want to join the live stream tomorrow, we'll cover some more stuff, but hope that you guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll cover some more assets tomorrow. Gonna go hang out with the fam and enjoy their company while they're here. Again, have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow, Drew, in the Discord. But for those of you that want to join the Discord, I share updates in there on both the free side and VIP. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the bio and join the Discord. We got a good community going, a lot of thoughtful information from the Discord. So happy about that. I think we're close to 500 members now in the Discord, and continuing to rise on the free side. On the VIP, there's about 53, I think. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.